Okay, we're going to look at the minutes from our last meeting on September 19th. Are there any additions, corrections, subtractions? I have one right off the bat. The discussion ensued on the Auburn Volunteer Fire Department request to use the ARPA funds. The motion showed that we passed and approved for 3 separate items. The motion, I believe, was supposed to read on the basis of the okay after we checked with the prosecutor's office. I'm pretty sure that needs to be added into the minutes, because I think you saw the letter from the prosecutor that said to hold up on that until...
Right.
Okay, so that has to be put into the minutes, that those motions were based on approval by the prosecutor's office, so that should be put in there.
Okay.
You see anything? Good morning, or good afternoon.
Evening.
Good evening.
No, I think
And
that covers it.
what about the times, executive session? Motion, do we need to have times put in there?
Never heard that.
Yeah.
Are you looking at the draft? Did that make it into the final copy, Fred?
Yes,
What's the time on that?
8:05,
Okay, they're just not on our draft. Okay.
and motion at 8:30 to
Okay,
exit.
all right,
I'll make a motion to approve.
I'll second.
Mike,
Yes.
PJ,
Yes.
Gene?
Yes. We have no scheduled guest on the agenda this evening, so we'll go right to scheduled reports, and we'll start with Frank Kitko, zoning inspector.
You gentlemen should all have a copy of activity for the month of September. We processed 17 applications. We now have a total of 18 new homes under construction or nearing completion in the township. We also have accessory buildings. If you look there, we have 18 on one side and 9 on another, so we have 27 there as well. Yeah, it's quiet. Some of them are kind of finishing up, but there may be 2 or 3 more builders pull permits before the end of the year, I would assume, just from talking with people. We do have a couple situations with driveways, and Emmerich and I have been working. I would just mention this to you guys, that you might hear something about it. We have 2 builders who put their driveways too close to the property lines, and one builder didn't even bother to install culvert pipes. He just filled the ditch in, and we've been trying to get this driveway moved now for the better part of 3 months, and they keep saying they're going to do it, but I don't know. I'm working actually closely with the homeowner as well, and they know what's going on. It's a family that will be moving from Auburn, or from Newberry to Auburn, and we'll probably get it done, but it's just, first they said it was too wet, and then they said they didn't want to move it until the big trucks came in with the drywall and that stuff, and now that's all done, and then I see the excavator machine sitting there, but I don't see the driveway moving.
Is this a paved driveway?
No, it's a gravel driveway that just basically too close to the property.
How close is it?
Pardon?
What's the distance?
Well, it's supposed to be 15 feet. It's right on the property line.
That's a slight deviation.
Yeah. And they were aware of it right from the very beginning. In other words, it happens to be right down the street from me, and then Eddie Calvecchio's, what is it, Regal Place in that subdivision there. And both of them, it's on a cul-de-sac, both of the driveways on the 2 houses being built were too close to the property line. I made one move, and they moved immediately. The other one, we'll move it, but let us get the heavy construction done first, and that's where we are. We're still with them. In the meantime, the other one is now gone from gravel to finished driveway to concrete, and, you know, they're looking at me, well, you made me move them, how come they're not moving, you know, and, it's, but I talked to the regional guy and the guy that does this area, Auburn, what's he have, Auburn and Manway, I guess, the Schumacher Homes, the builder, and, they both assured me it would be done relatively in the next couple of weeks, so we'll see. But this has been going on since, well, actually, it's been going on since last November, when they first
Have
started.
they had the heavy trucks come in already, or?
Oh, yeah, the house is nearing completion. I would be willing to say that it's very, very near ready to be
I just
moved
remember
in.
when they built my house, by the time all the trucks came in and out, my gravel driveway was back in.
Right, but it, you know, it's a poured foundation, and of course, if you know anything about those, that takes heavy trucks, and, that's when it all started, when they did I caught them right then, when they were getting ready to put the forms up for the, and they said, oh, we'll move it, when we get done, we'll move it, you know, so we'll see. Other than that, that's all I have.
Any questions for Frank from the board, or anybody present tonight have any questions for Frank? Thank you, Frank.
You're welcome.
Emmett Gordon's supposed to be here tonight? Do you have his report, PJ?
No, we are going to do that on the 17th at the next meeting. If the board wishes, we're going to go over next year's road program.
Okay.
It'll be kind of a Reader's Digest version of what we've done over the years. But yeah, we're going to do that on the 17th.
Okay. All right, so that's that. So we'll go to trustees report, and we'll start with Michael Tryon.
Okay, just wanted to go over what we were discussing. We did hear back from the prosecutor regarding the ARPA funding. And unlike the CARES Act, where we subgranted the money, that's not allowable with ARPA. So her recommendation was to take those projects, all three of them, incorporate them into our contract for next year, and then we can up the rate of the contract for 2023 by that amount. So,
Okay.
what I've asked the chief to do, is with the fire department, and move up the time frame on the contract. I believe the only change they had this year was
workers' comp.
just the workers' comp, that was it?
Yep.
Okay, so basically, they were covered up until last year under our workers' comp. And we found out they actually have to have their own workers' comp. So basically, we've been paying their workers' comp as part of our workers' compensation. Again, that comes out of the fire department funds that we hold back. So now we don't require those funds to be held back, so we'll be moving those back into the contract to cover that amount. So what I want the fire department to do is give me as soon as possible, the contract with the update for just the workers' comp. And then we'll be sending that up to the prosecutor's office, and then she will be writing the verbiage that we should put in for the three projects.
For the one-time only.
For the one-time only.
Adjustment to the contract, or addendum,
Correct.
yeah.
That's why we'll have that as a separate line item, because then that will come out in subsequent contracts and take us back to where we're at. So that's where we're at. So what's the time frame on getting the contract?
We're working
Chief?
on it, hope to have it the next week or two, hopefully by the 17th.
Are you feeling the need to do this before the actual lapse of this contract, like end of the year?
Well, normally we present the contract to you by December,
Yeah.
so you guys can look it over, and then sometime in December you get one of the two meetings.
Yeah, we usually get it like the first
Yeah.
meeting, and then we get it the second meeting where we sign the contract for next year. So what we're trying to do is move that up, so the prosecutor has time to make the adjustments before then. so this will give her.
Okay, so we aren't gonna terminate this contract
No.
early or
No.
anything, we'll just, okay.
No, this will all be
That makes
incorporated in
more
the
sense.
2023 contract.
Yeah, that
This
makes
won't
sense.
affect this year's contract. Any additional comments on that, chief? Did I cover it?
No, you got it. Pete,
All right.
you got anything to add to that?
No, I can work with that.
Dan?
All right.
Patrick?
Yeah, a couple things, probably on the agenda, but there was the letter to, okay, I'll get to that one. I mentioned that our road report's gonna be a bit of a slideshow presentation for at least a couple of years. Projects and potential projects, and just a all-around annual update from the road department. Couple things, you signed requests here for, that, Nancy called me last week, she was showing the hall, and there was an alarm going off up there, Gene, you probably know all
Right.
about this by now.
Right.
There's a pump and a backup pump system at the, and she didn't know what it was, she asked if I could please come up and figure out what this was, and, because nobody's looked in there, we've had such silent service out of this, but, the installer doesn't do the maintenance on that. It's been there 15 years anyway. So she eventually, Kaufman says he's gonna do anything, so he did, but, just things go bad, I just wanted to say that. And while I was leaving there, I was kinda wandering around, I just reported this to Nancy tonight, and she's gonna get on it tomorrow, is somebody vandalized that sign. Or hit it with a beer bottle driving down the road, the sign in front of Adam Hall.
Really?
The end by the road is busted in, like completely. Now, Harry Lackhorn did the stonework there. I have no idea where you go for these kind of repairs, because I think it was kind of a unique sign. I think she's gonna start with, where did we get the sign? Do you have any year recollection of that?
The sign is that damaged too?
The end of it's busted up, it's plastic pieces apparently, which kind of surprised me, I didn't think there was that much plastic in it, but yeah, it's replacement parts would make it work, but we gotta find the origin of
Well,
that.
she should be able to find out where we got the
She
sign
should,
originally.
yeah, Harry was the contractor,
Okay.
he may.
What year was the sign put in?
Well, I'm trying to remember.
It's going back.
It's going back, yeah.
Early 2000.
And, I'm looking for like where a car drove into it, that doesn't appear to be what happened. Somebody either bashed it or was going down the road and threw something heavy at it and hit it, so. So she's starting on that tomorrow. And that's it, the rest's on the agenda.
Okay. My reports, not much. As you can see, we contacted a new architect to do the plans for the park that we need to put in our new driveway. And we went with Chip Hess and Associates in Newberry. And we just got a note from Chip that we will have a proposal tomorrow as far as what we need to get done on that and get it to the Land Conservancy. So that's moving along pretty fast. And Emmerich also got another quote from Dash when we are prepared to remove the trees for the parking lot. I think he said it went up $500 from the original quote, which was actually a quote before I came on the board. So I guess that's not too bad. You can see the price to remove everything is $5,450, and he will hold that quote until we get an answer from the Land Conservancy. The only other thing I have is, because I know a lot of people are waiting with bated breath, LeBron James is now starting a new professional pickleball league. So for all the residents who have called me about a pickleball court, maybe we can get LeBron James. I do have a big folder now on everything we need for pickleball. So I thought I would stop and see the guy at the pond. And that might be a guy that might be interested when he knows what kind of interest that is, that maybe he can do something with that.
Yeah.
So,
It's not an idea.
okay. Other than that, Fred, it's all yours.
Okay, I just have your regular reports in front of you, your fund summary report, appropriation summary report, and your revenue summary report, as well as payment listings of warrants 7416 through 7434, totaling $522,746.73. Of note on there is a warrant for Chagrin Valley paving for asphalt work and a warrant for resurfacing, right? PJ?
That was various roads.
And
Start
then
with the
asphalt
road.
fabrics and specialties for $46,100. And that is all that I have.
Okay, old business, as we've already discussed, the Land Conservation Amendment. Chip Hess is supposed to have a proposal for us tomorrow. We can get moving on that for our parking lot expansion.
I don't think we have to take any action. I think we've done everything we needed to do, so as soon as it comes in, throw it right back
We
on.
could do it, there you go, okay. New business, Jog County Engineer recommendation, first and final payment for Chagrin Valley paving, $433,597.60. That was asphalt resurfacing of various roads for 2022.
Yeah.
And PJ, if you could comment a little farther, I got a call from Brian from the Maple Leaf today, and that was the only thing he was really interested in on our budget. And we have a young lady today from the Maple Leaf here, maybe what they were interested in and what roads were actually taken care of with that almost $500,000. Do you have a list?
I do not have that list. That just comes, well, yeah, okay, we got some breakdown here. Weens Way, over off of Munn. The entirety of the subdivision, Ladue Trails. I honestly don't remember beyond that. I would,
I could call him or give
yeah,
him a ring, I
yeah.
guess. And you can have Brian call me if he wants a list of each road. I'll get that for him in the morning. And
I'll let him know, or I'll
Okay.
call you.
Yeah.
All right.
Beyond Ladue Trails, which we did that entire subdivision,
Okay.
I don't recall what else was,
And that's only a half payment, right, for, wasn't the total like 700 and some thousand for that project, for our roads this year?
that one was under budget. We've made a partial payment.
Right.
I think it was closer to $781.
I'll call.
$781.
So $781,000
$81,446.
That's for the total,
90 cents.
and this is for the partial payment that's done as of, what, the end of July?
Oh, we finished that. That could have been, yeah, it was late July, early August, because we're still chasing that. We had the one road that was damaged. And we've gotten all the numbers and measurements and everything to Chagrin Valley paving. And we're waiting for them to turn around with an estimate with that, because we made a claim on it.
Right. Okay. Yeah, he said he was gonna call me, I told him, best time to call me was between 6:30 and 7 in the morning. He said he was gonna call me at 7, so, because he's up, because he's reporting at the commissioners meeting, so he can call me, I'll be up. Okay. We got the quote, I just gave the quote on Dash Tree, and that's the end of our new business. So I guess, we have a couple of save the dates. We got a BZA meeting at 7 PM at Auburn Township on the 11th of this month. On the 13th, we have a zoning commission meeting at 7 PM at this building. And then again, we'll meet on the 17th for our next trustees meeting of the month. And on the 27th, the zoning commission meeting will again be at 7 o'clock. And I know a lot of people will always be interested in calling in. Trick or treat, once again, will be on my birthday on Halloween on 10/31 from 6 to 8 PM. And with that, I'll ask, are there any comments, questions, anything from anybody?
Yes.
I mean anybody. Anybody have a question or?
Anybody has a
Please.
question, yeah. My question is about warrant 7432 for the outlandish amount of $57.11 for the Geauga County Clerk of Courts. What was that for, Fred?
That is for a payment withholding on a garnishment,
Still?
for one of our employees.
Okay,
So if you want more information, I can get you the information on that.
okay, thank you. I will be inquiring further.
But
about
yes.
that. Thank you.
Yes,
It's still,
Okay.
and will be for a while.
Yeah, I think PJ mentioned something about a letter.
From,
I don't know, he just said there's a letter and then he moved on to something else.
County engineer maybe for
Oh, is that
payment?
from the county engineer? Okay. First and final payment, $433,000.
Yeah,
Go ahead and
I can
read it.
read it, it's a
Sure.
paragraph and a half there. Enclosed, please find documents related to payment of referenced invoice. This office recommends payment of the invoice in the amount of $433,597.60 to Chagrin Valley Paving. Invoices for work completed on the project through July 31st, that's about when we did that. Any questions regarding, let me know. It's pretty much to the point.
I would say, I take my dog to your park probably once every 2 or 3 days, and it's a lovely park. You're gonna replace that driveway?
No, what we've been doing, this has been like, it's been going on for a while. We're going to add to the parking up there. When you drive around the curve, there's a wood lot
Yeah.
to your left, and then it squares off again. That's what we own. We own that tiny little sliver of woods to would be the south of the driveway. And it's about 2/3, 3/4 of an acre.
Are we talking about the new park?
Yes, on one, yeah.
Yeah, I'll read that.
Okay.
It's 2/3, 3/4 of an acre, and that's what we're designating for new parking. It's gonna be a permeable park, we're just gonna do a gravel lot. There'll be some minimum adjustments to the retention pond. We're gonna add, the designation is going to be the egress. The ingress will be you come around the corner to where you come in now, and then we're gonna add an outflow kinda, the thought is that it would be like a circular pattern. I mean, it's gonna work how it's gonna work, but, we've got, when you get overlap, the scheduling is done through KCE for organized sports, and she does a great job with that. She makes sure there's a window between events or games or whatever you wanna call it, but you get early arrivals and you get late departures.
And it is a narrow drive.
if you've ever been out there on a
Yes.
Saturday when the soccer kids are playing soccer and that, we're headed for a nasty accident.
Okay.
People pulling in and pulling out of there, and it's just a cluster.
Yeah.
And that's why we're doing it, because it's a safety issue, because someone's gonna get hurt, and someone's gonna get smashed in their car. And again, it's not unique to Auburn Township with as many kids that are playing sports. If you go to Bainbridge's Park on a Saturday, it's the same thing. So it's tough, and we're just trying to make it a little safer for our residents.
So you're gonna have this for entrance, and then
Right.
you can come back around and
Right.
then
And then
just parallel to it,
There you
go
go.
out.
Yeah,
Okay.
there's drawings, I mean, if you're
Yeah.
interested, we have proposed drawings.
Yeah.
I don't have them with me right here.
No, that's
but,
okay,
yeah.
that's okay, I'm curious. One other thing I would say is at the end over there, there should be a stop sign at the road. Because when you're coming down there in the morning, which is when I walk, if the sun's in your eyes, you don't see mine.
You need a stop sign coming out of the park?
Yeah. Just a suggestion.
And you'd have to, we'd
Go
have
to
to.
the engineer's
Yeah,
office.
and that's their road. We can't just, put up something
No, just-
without their.
I'm not even a resident, so I'm just
I mean,
saying.
we can take that comment up to the prosecutor's office, and if that's an issue, or not the prosecutor's office, but up to the engineer's office, and, This can't be unique to you.
There's a lot of us that.
Where do you live?
Use that. I live up on Mon in Newbury.
In Newbury.
And every morning my dog wants to go for a walk, so I often take him down there, and it hasn't been more.
Don't we have a dog tax if you're out of township?
Take him for a nice walk through the woods, then you won't have to get run over.
Yes.
Well, yeah, just curious, you're already aware of additional potential, sounds like more potential liability. Is there anything the township can do to avoid any kind of involvement or?
Are we still talking about the park?
Yeah, as a result of the potential accidents or.
Well, we're
Yeah.
trying, this project was, if you've been coming to all the meetings, this project
Yeah.
started before I even
Right.
ran for trustee.
Right, I know.
So that's how far behind we are. We had an architect who has helped us immensely over the years, but
Right.
is like, he has a shortage just like everybody else. And
Yeah.
so we needed to quickly get this, try to get it in a higher, faster gear
Right.
than it's been going. That's
No,
what we're doing.
That's not my concern. My concern is as a result of the recognition of additional liability. You know, what potential liability does the township face if there is an accident, the
Well,
accidents potentially that you
A year ago, I bumped into a lady's car at the Bainbridge Park watching my granddaughter play soccer, and that was something that my insurance company had to handle. So
Okay, so at
I'm
this
assuming
point,
if
it's still
somebody
part
hits
of it.
somebody's car, that's not on us.
Yeah.
But we have liability insurance as a township.
Right, of course. So, I mean, you know, there have been a couple of articles in the quarterly, the township, Ohio Township Quarterly about that kind of situation with liability, and I just wondered if, you know, it has impacted here.
Other than us trying to speed this up
Yeah,
exorbitantly, I don't think we've done anything else.
Yeah, as long as we're discussing it here, the background on this is, prior to, I'm gonna say, 2018, the Western Reserve Conservancy was quite a bit more open and less formal about amending their, the restrictions they put on
yeah, I
properties.
think I remember.
It was about 4 or 5 years ago that they had a flurry of proposals, and ours might have been one of them. I think we started discussing it about
I
2019.
think it does go back that far.
Anyway, so they put into practice, it's basically like a zoning board of appeals hearing, where they want background information, the need for this project, who benefits from it. It's quite like a zoning board of appeals meeting,
Yeah.
just with more parameters along this. And that's what we're doing, but we already initiated that. Fred will tell you, we already cut 2-3 checks to get that underway.
Oh, that's been,
Yes,
That's been
and,
going
and
on
what was
forever.
needed was drawings from the civil
Yeah.
engineer.
yeah.
And they were, I don't know, on the
They
back
were
burner,
not
lost or
cooperative.
whatever.
They
There's,
didn't seem,
there's been several visits. I know I was there, I think Eberly was there. I know Emmerich been there 2-3 times with these
Yeah.
drawings, trying to, Gene, you were probably there,
Yeah, I was-
trying to stir this all up and get it going, and we got next to nowhere.
right.
And Gene finally brought it up and says, let's move on. And it was time to move on because we weren't
Yeah.
getting anywhere.
Well,
So
I
that's
wanna-
what they're waiting for.
Right.
And then we'd have to amend that agreement in order to get access to build that little parking lot, that little parking extension. Because right now, it's in the preserved land, which is the woods.
Well, it's been that way.
Yeah. So we're working a
Yeah.
deal, we got the deal in place, we just need the background information, and that's why we went with Hess and Associates to
Yeah.
finish it up.
Yeah.
Like I said, you can only put, it's not like, there's arrows and lines and everything else. This is a big gravel parking lot that's unmarked. So, once you enter a gravel parking lot that's not marked, you're kind of, you're on your own.
Yeah,
But, they'll,
just kind of curious because, I know that was an article on one of the township needs, what to do to avoid additional liability as it may occur.
Well, in fact, I don't think there have been any accidents, so
Yeah,
that would give you some credibility to what we already have in place.
right.
But what we're looking at is, okay, what we have must be adequate, but we wanna make it better.
Yeah,
Yeah, the board itself has recognized the need to expand the parking lot. The board has not made any statement on potential accidents or injuries or any such thing, so. But, we recognize the need, and we're
Yeah.
moving apace.
yeah. Thank you.
Anyone else? Speak now or forever hold your peace. Okay, that's it. Is there a motion to adjourn?
So move. I've got my.
Oh, wait.
Can we,
Oh, we have a resolution yet, hold on.
forgot to ask you guys to move some money around. Resolution 2022-33 for supplemental appropriations. Be it resolved by the Board of Trustees of Auburn Township, Jalbert County, that it is necessary to adopt the following: $3,000 supplemental appropriation to road and bridge account medical and hospitalization, $6,000 supplemental appropriation to fire department account 2191 medical and hospitalization. It just happens to be that time of the year, and our contract price went up at the end of the year anyhow. That's all I've got.
So you need a motion
I
to.
need a motion to adopt the resolution.
So moved.
Yeah, I'll second.
Mike,
Yes.
PJ,
Yes.
Gene,
Yes.
thank you.
And with that, do I hear a motion to adjourn?
Do I dare?
Please.
Fine. Motion to adjourn.
Okay, I'll second it.
Mike,
Yes.
PJ,
Yes.
Gene,
Yes. Thank you for participating in local government. Hopefully we'll see you again on